how do you get information? Because some of us get information through podcasts, through books, and stuff like that.
TikTok.
No, no. Hi everyone, welcome to Conversations with Miss T, and that is me. A couple of days ago, I had a conversation with a former student of mine, Kagiso, also known as Fiona. She is currently an engineer student at the University of Witwatersrand. I don't know, South Africans, how do you say this word? Okay, at Wits. So she used to be a public speaker, and I just think she's an incredible woman. I also want you to know that when Fiona and I had this conversation, I was in quarantine, and the bed is the only place that I could sit comfortably for an hour. I do apologize if that throws you off. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoy this. Where do you want to start?
I don't know, from the beginning, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know where the beginning is, but I'm just, I guess I have a lot to say. Let's just go with whatever you have to ask.
Okay. Okay. So, what's your major right now?
Civil, BSc in civil engineering.
How are you finding that?
It's traumatizing, but I'm just hanging in there. The aim is to leave this place with a degree because I'm not going down without a fight.
Okay, so you're putting up a fight, huh?
Yeah. It's not easy, but I'm just working hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And what year?
Third year.
Okay. What was your first year like? Like leaving high school, going into varsity with all the expectations that you had about life, all your dreams, everything planned out.
I didn't really have expectations, to be honest. I just went to varsity. I got to varsity unexpectedly. I did not even believe it. When I got the offer from Wits, I was like, what is going on? I never imagined myself with Wits, most especially. I always imagined myself probably in college or maybe UJ. I was never that ambitious for Wits. And I got the offer and I got here. I remember I even missed part of my O week, which is very important. Because O week, that is when they teach you guys about varsity, everything about the SRC, what they do, the certain offices that you can go to when you are probably having anxiety or it's too much work. I missed all of that. So I came here being me, and everyone else was equipped with all the information, and I was just so confused. It was hell. I don't want to lie. My first year was hell because I had to navigate through Wits alone. Luckily, I had friends, but I really don't think that they did a lot of work because some things are personal and they're emotional. You have to deal with them by yourself.
Yeah.
Physical things in terms of figuring out ways to go to the class, got it covered. But emotionally and mentally, I was not ready for this place,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that is where I also messed up a bit. I remember my first semester, I was doing 5 modules and I think I failed 2. It was very difficult.
5 is a lot.
5 is a lot. Yeah, I do 10 in a year, 5 each semester. So I failed 2, which I don't even know how I passed that 3. So it was really difficult having to go to my parents and tell them that, guys, I failed. This is the story. And they couldn't understand when I told them that varsity is difficult because they're like, what do you mean? You're smart. You've always been good with physics and math. You're going to be good in engineering. I did not tell you that they are the ones who actually convinced me to do engineering. They're like, no,
makes sense.
Engineers will earn a lot of money. Within 3 months, you're going to be having a Jeep or a Range Rover. And it was all a lie now that I'm actually in the field. But I was like, okay, babes, I'll do it. There's no problem. When I got here, I got, a horror of my life. It was horrible, simply because maybe I still had the high school mentality. Also, the transition from high school to university is just a huge gap, and I I remember, you know how in high school you normally just give us work, you teach us physics like you normally did back in high school. You would teach us this is the Travis wave, this is the longitudinal wave, and then you show us a few examples. We do classwork, and then you give us homework. I still had that mentality that no, I'm not getting homework here. The lecturer said whatever he said, so I'll just see when I get to the exams, because I used to rely on my intelligence personally in high
Oh
school.
no,
I
you
never really
didn't.
studied that much. I never studied. I kid you not. I'd just do my classwork and my homework, and that would be the end of it. In varsity, I do not get homeworks. That is what I did not get. I don't know why I was so dumb to not figure it out. That girl, there are no homeworks in this place. You have to do your own homework. Come exam time, I remember it was mid-semester, and it was we had block tests, and we had like tests Monday to Friday. I had 5 modules, and I was writing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The girl had to catch up with the whole block's work within a week, because the study break was like a week. I was like, I mean, I'm in a lot of trouble. It's very, very, I'm in a lot of trouble because I can't catch up. I did try to study, but some things are just so impossible. It was very bad because I felt the things that I knew the most, which is physics and math. Hence, my parents were like confused. How can you fail math and physics
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
studied? And having to explain that, guys, you don't understand. I was studying, but I wasn't putting much effort, because I really did rely on my intelligence, but it's a lot of work for you um, to literally put in just like a week, to process and be able to write exams within a week.
Yeah.
So that is what happened. But second semester, um, luckily I had a friend who was like a year ahead of me, but doing a different degree. So he would drag me to their lab and was like, go come and study with us. You're gonna study. And also because they also knew the math that I used to do, I'm gonna ask them. And he was really helpful. Like I passed everything second semester. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
can
I
totally,
learned.
I can totally relate to that because in varsity I befriended people that were
Yeah.
really disciplined, and
Yeah.
most of our hanging out time involved doing schoolwork. So I can totally relate to that. Um,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So now third year, do you feel like you've gotten the hang of this university thing?
Definitely, I have. It's all about finding your place. It takes time. All I could say is you just have to be very patient with yourself. Some people figure it out within a day, some take a week. You could actually take the whole year. You would realize that you do not necessarily have to study every day. It's all about understanding yourself and having a good work ethic, right? So that is what I lacked. I could not understand myself on how I'm supposed to study. I did not have good study methods. I just came to this place knowing that my name is Kagiso and that is it. I did not know myself as a person and how I process certain information. I can't study every day. That is not me. I have to take breaks here and there. You just have to understand yourself. I have friends. There are actually people who can um multitask and they go to groove and they still come back and study. I can't do that.
Those people, I don't know how they do it, right?
I don't know. I'm like, how do you do it? I used to see you posting going to groove every day, but you still finish this degree in record time. How do you do it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you can never compare yourself with such people. You have to know yourself that this is the amount of work I can take in within a day or a week. And just plan everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. On that note, I remember this one time I was in a biology class with it was a microbiology class with one of the international students. So we went
Okay.
out, we came back, and like you're tired from all the dancing that you have to do. It's a workout of some sort, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so later, you guys are texting each other. Did you get home safe? Did what are you like, sleep well? And then they said, "Oh, I'm not gonna sleep now. I'm just gonna shower and then study." I'm like, after all of that, you still gonna,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
are
yeah.
people like
So
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so people like that. And then there was also a friend of mine, we would go out, and then the next day in the morning, tired and hungover, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm up at 7 a.m. and I'm doing my assignment." And I'm like, "Where do you get the discipline to do that?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is true.
But you learn from those people, right?
You do. Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. And you
yeah,
stop comparing yourself with them,
of
because
course.
if you do have time to go to groove, you go. But when you can't, you can't. Also, it's about finding good friends. Like I feel like my friends, they got to understand that group is not good for me all the time. So if they want to go to group, we have to like know that this Saturday we're going to go to group. So we're supposed to study hard during the week and push all the work. Because if we fall behind, it's going to be a lot of work, because literally we normally say from the first day when school reopens, you're already 3 weeks behind. You should bear that in mind. So the more time you procrastinate, the further you get from the
Yeah.
coursework, from catching up with everything.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I had to let go of was my TGIF mentality when I was in varsity. It's like,
Yeah,
no, you still study, girl. Like, you cannot be singing
exactly.
that song at this place. So yeah, I get that. I'm looking at you and I'm just like, oh my goodness, she's so gross. She's a big girl now.
I
Oh,
know. I know it's been a while. It's been a minute. When was the last time I saw you? It's been a minute.
like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been
And
a
other than a good study routine, like what are the things that you feel that you've learned since you left home and now you're your own person? What are the things that you learned about yourself?
I learned a lot. I it's not like I have a lot of things that I learned, which I can't really think about at the moment, but they contribute a lot to my character develop. They to my character. They developed my character in a way. I could say, whatever your parents tell you, just listen to it. They know better.
Yeah.
And you just have to be very smart. This place is not for the weak. You
Mhm.
have to know yourself, know where you come from, and just work hard, work smart. Actually, I always say work smart and party hard, because it's a place where you actually find yourself while losing yourself. It's a good environment. It's grooming you into being an adult, or whoever you might be. You would actually get here and you realize that I'm not the person that I thought I was.
Mhm.
I used to live according to what my mom expected of me, but this is actually who I am.
Mhm.
And that is what I learned, that you would actually get a different perspective of who you are. The more you're exposed to different people, the more you realize that I am actually like this. I am more of this person rather than the person that I was before. Also, friendships. Sadly, you're gonna lose a couple of
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna leave them behind. Your high school friends, some of them, they would go do something different from you, and you guys, when you meet, you speak a different language. You really don't understand each other. Like, you're not the type of person I used to know back in high school. We're so different, and you just have to accept that we do outgrow each other at some point, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Was that hard for you losing friends? Because I know I had
It
a
was
very
really,
difficult time with that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was hard, but then I don't know, for some reason I feel like I have sort of some abandonment issues, so I don't really care if people leave or not. I continue with whoever is on the way, like whoever I find along the way. I've met amazing people. Personally, the people in varsity, they are my best people so far, because those are the people who've seen me through my struggles. We struggle together, and I did not really care about losing some friends from high school. Like, I mean, some of them were toxic. It's like, I was like, it's a good thing I left go
No
behind.
name dropping. No name dropping, please.
I was like, kind of toxic. I was like, no, man, this is good. These are the people that I can live with. The ones back in high school, they used to like force me into the shell that I was supposed to come out of. You know, the people in varsity, they literally forced me out of the shell that I was in,
Yeah.
and I bloomed into being whatever that I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, high school was kind of toxic. It was ghetto. It was ghetto. I'd never go back to high school. Never. I'd
Yeah.
only go back for the fun part of it, I guess, was, I don't know, the nothing about high school was nice. Matric was worse. It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
It
I
is the
wasn't there for your matric years. I think I left when you were still in grade 11. Yeah.
you you left towards the end of the year, right? Towards the end of grade. Oh no, grade 11. You
Yes, grade
did grade
11.
11.
I wasn't there matric. Yeah. I wasn't there. Yeah.
You've been gone, hey? You've been
Like you said, that place is toxic. I'm kidding. And no, actually, even for teachers, you see, like whatever you experience as a student, as a teacher, I
yeah.
feel the same way. I was like, okay, I did my time. I gave
Yeah.
what I could. I met some people that had to, fall off the wagon along the way. Some of them you keep, so yeah, I can totally relate to that.
It be like that. Be like that. Some people really have to fall off the wagon. Like honestly.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So now sorry. Your parents your parents talked you into engineering. Do you
Yeah.
regret making that decision?
Sometimes I do. When course gets real, I'm like, yo, should have not. I remember when I didn't do well on my first year.
Mm-hmm.
I considered doing so I was supposed to come back and repeat the modules that I have failed. And some of them they blocked some of the modules from second year. So I could pick up certain modules from second year and also do the ones that I failed from first year. So I was juggling both years at once. Yeah. So along the way, second year, I still met another mountain. It was difficult. There was this other module that was like really difficult and draining. And there was a point where I wanted to quit, you know. Um, I did really regret it. And I spoke to my parents, I was like, guys, I don't feel like doing this course anymore. It's too much for me. And they talked me into it still. They're like, you already wasted 2 years of your time. My parents, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, these ones are not good for my mental health. They're like, you're already onto it. If you changed, I wanted to do something related to medicine, not really strictly medicine, because I'm not really a doctor or something like that, but I liked biology. So I wanted to do something related to that. And the reason why I did not apply for that, it is because I did not know about other courses that were existing. I only knew that in varsity there was engineering and there was medicine probably. I did not know about certain courses that could actually get you into biology or something like that. You know, something medical. I do like the health sciences field, but I wasn't really sure of all the courses that were there. I did not get enough exposure. Yes, career expos were there, but I feel like they did not do enough justice, you know. So that is what happened. I applied for civil also because remember grade 11. I'm not sure if he had already left. We won a national public speaking competition by
Yes,
the Department of Water and
I
Sanitation.
remember that. Yes.
So we batched ourselves bursaries. So the bursaries, like they were very specific with the courses that you're supposed to the courses you're supposed to do. So the options that I had to choose from were electrical, mechanical, and civil from the engineering field. And anything else involved a lot of chemistry. And me and Cam, I'm not sure if you've ever noticed, you were teaching me Chem at some point. It wasn't my favorite. I don't like chemistry. Stoichiometry, no ways.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I'm supposed to choose from the three engineering disciplines. And I was like, electricity, hell no, never. Mechanical, I have no interest, zero interest in cars. However, I liked civil, the water part of it, not structures. I don't like bridges as such, but I did like water. So I took it. And where was I going with this? You know, I talk a lot.
No, I was about to ask you, are you single? Like, are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. Because you said you don't like chemistry and then you don't like bridges. So I'm like, oh, that explains. I wanted to say that explains why you're still single. Stupid joke.
It's a good one, though. It's a good one. It makes sense. I never thought it that way. It makes a whole lot of sense. Bridges in chemistry, no chemistry.
Not your thing. Stay single, girl.
Yeah, exactly. It's safer this side, by the way.
Yeah, so no, you were still telling me that you don't, there are some days when you regret going with your parents' choice, and then
Yeah,
other times are you okay with it? You're fine, you feel like you
yeah,
can.
yeah. Yeah, it's a nice course, to be honest. Very interesting. It just needs a whole effort. You know, when you're not really in love with the course, I feel like passion is very
Yes.
important because you do not get to force yourself to study. In
Mhm.
this case, I have to literally beg myself. I'm like, girl, if you want that car, if you want that estate, if you want to live in that estate, you better work. So it's
Yeah.
all about the mentality. Also, whenever I feel like I am losing the love for it, I sort of like watch some YouTube videos, women in engineering, and just get some extra motivation. Also, getting friends in the same faculty or school who actually are interested in this course. It's like you feeding from them, feeding from their interest, and you
Yeah.
also end up it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wanna
sometimes you,
I want to comfort you and let you know that I did not major in education whatsoever, but that's what I've been doing for the past almost 7 years now. I feel old. So if you get an opportunity to change course later on in life, just know that's still an option, you know. I know a couple of people who've done that, people who I have a friend that did microbiology and now they're doing nursing, you know. So there's people who did science, but now they're in their workplaces, they're doing marketing and all of that. So there's still time for you to change course if you feel that's necessary, but get your paper. I mean, you're almost there,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
exactly. Close. That
Yeah.
is the aim. Paper. Yeah.
Yeah. How was high school like for you?
It was, yo, high school.
Because I know the one thing that I mean, because it's been a while, right? So I had to sit and think and try to remember our time together. So the one thing that I
Yeah.
really admired about you was your confidence and your ability to speak your mind, but do it respectfully and eloquently, which you still do, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, to see that you still have that, I'm happy. I'm so happy and
Yeah.
I'm so proud, you know. But yeah, let's just go back in time. Maybe grade 10, grade 11, as much as you can remember.
Okay, talk about the confidence you're talking about. A lot of people tend to confuse it. It's not really confidence. I am an outspoken person. So that is the confusion. I am outspoken, not confident. So I feel like the fact that I talk a lot actually overshadows the whole thing, that I'm low key, just a bit shy. And the confidence is there, but not as much as you guys see it. Not like you guys think it's like up there, skyrocketing. No, it's just
I
medium
say
level.
that I say that because you did public speaking, and when you walk up on stage, you walk up on stage and do your thing. Without. I went to high school with this guy. Whenever it was his turn to go up in front of the classroom and do a presentation, his whole
Yeah.
body will just quiver. He will start shaking, and he wouldn't be able to stand
Yeah.
straight. So I
True.
guess you do need a certain degree of confidence to be able to walk up on stage and do what you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that is true. There are people who are like that. I used to like oral. Well, actually, yeah, talk about that. That was my favorite part about high school, orals. They was so fun. Having to watch people, different personalities, other people shaking, having stage frights. It is the most hilarious. Oh my God, laugh.
My favorite people were the people who would go up on stage, say nothing, but try to convince you. Like, so this thing, ma'am, you see, this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you understand.
I'm like, I'm trying to see it. Give me more, ma'am.
Yeah,
Like, I'm saying something.
I know those type of people. Yeah. It's like that was the fun part of it. You just see how we're all different, how people are able to talk, and some are like a bit shy, some can't even use their outside voice, but they're loud by nature. It's like a lot of things. Yeah, but I guess that was the fun part of it. And choosing the subject was kind of fun because you get to see where you're going. It's like you get it, you're sort of like getting a clear picture of where you're heading. Like it might not be that the fact that you chose science does not mean that you're going to end up a scientist or anything like that. But it was interesting how you get to choose and now do certain subjects that are specific and that sort of like relate to each other. Yeah, there's the fun part of it because we were tired of EMS. We've been doing it for like all of our lives. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from grade 10, I could say that is the fun part of it because I did see that I'm good at this thing and I might probably end up doing something related to it.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I majored in microbiology and had to do a certain degree of science in my life and teach it, to be quite honest, I did not really like teaching like grade 10, 11, and matric science. I enjoyed natural sciences grade 8 and 9. I really enjoyed that. But I did not really enjoy teaching. I mean, I enjoyed you guys and I loved you. And I mean, I was into it. I really enjoyed our relationship, but I did not like the subject that I was teaching, So I knew that it wasn't something I was gonna stay in that long. But I'm happy that you
Yeah.
guys took something out of it and now you're doing something with your life, so that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Who are the people that no wait, you're still telling me about high school.
Yeah, but that was the end of it. I mean, the teachers were amazing as well.
Yeah.
I was one of those ones who were kind of loved by the teachers because you do your work, you're consistent.
Yeah.
I guess that is it because when you have like those people who believe in you and give you that extra support and push, I wouldn't say that they gave us more attention, but they saw potential and they knew what to do with it.
Yeah.
Like they see that this child is actually invested in their schoolwork, and they would push you and motivate you that go on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Zoom is saying I have 10 minutes. So what we're gonna do is in 5 minutes, we will end the call and maybe get on another one, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Who are the people that have played an important role in your life?
I'd say the public speaking teacher,
Yeah.
Miss Makani Shing. She did a lot of work. I feel like I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. I remember even when I started public speaking, I did not go for public speaking, Miss T. I was dragged by my friend. You know her. She liked things and she was like, let's go. I never did public speaking in my entire life. I remember when we got to grade 8 and there was those different clubs that we were exposed to. There was Eco Club by that was managed by MCV, different clubs. And then there was public speaking. And this friend of mine literally dragged me there and was like, let's go. And we started attending some functions where they would go and debate the older ones just to get an exposure. And I realized, okay, this is actually nice. Also, I liked the traveling. You know how they would actually walk into the class.
Yes.
Public speaking learners, let's go. And you leave everyone else. That was the fun part of it.
And you guys would take him to proper events, right? With like catering and nice decos, nice buildings, and all of that. Your transportation was proper.
Yeah, it was proper as well. We would go with the school's car and would come back and we would be dropped off safely. We would see celebrities as well in those events. I remember seeing Nomzamo Mbata and I was so happy. It was really fun. And the nice part about it is that we didn't go there to lose. The people who were actually doing it would win, and you would like want to do it as well and have the motivation, Yeah, so that is when I got exposed to public speaking, and I realized that it was one of my hidden talents. I was like, why not do it? And I gave it a try. She was very patient with me because I have a problem with speaking very fast and my breathing was so bad. And she's like, no, take your time, you're not rushing. Also, you want to have the accent as well. I remember one of my friends had the accent and I tried imitating her. She's like, don't do that, don't have the accent, speak your own voice. Like honestly, you want to twang as well and have the nice English, the fancy English, but it's not really about the English, it's about what you say and the message you're trying to put across, right? So it really took time, but by I think grade 10, I was already well groomed and I was getting into it. Then boom, grade 11, did we not win a national public competition? Which actually got me here, and I'm still funded by the same bursary, and probably employment is guaranteed. So it's like a very good opportunity. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. And also other teachers like you guys, you were literally there. Like, as I've said, that you guys were the reason why we did so well, because you believed in us. You never got tired of us being too inquisitive, because we were like, Miss T this, Miss T that, and always come walk. Actually, what I liked about you is the fact that you would even walk through our rows and come and personally attend to the person and whatever they're struggling with, then you clarify it. It's rare to find such teachers. Some teachers really sit on the desk and expect you to do all the hard work alone. Yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
it.
then outside of high school, who are the people that continue to, shape and mold you?
It was just my family, I guess. Yeah, especially my father, my late father. He was like my biggest supporter. He really believed in me, and whenever it gets tough, like he would be very into it. Everything that I ask him, Dad, I am short of this thing or I need this thing, would attend to it. He could see that I was going far with whatever I have. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's life.
It's life, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you live, yeah, you live, you learn.
yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, let's end this one and then let me send you another link.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um
happens.
so how has been your dating experience?
Yo, sure. Yeah, I wish I was smarter. Well, the problem with me is that I did not date back in high school, being the teacher's pet. I really did not care about boys back in high school, so I skipped that, which I feel like was kind of stupid. It's important to actually get a feel of how it's like in high school so that you're prepared for varsity and you at least know what a heartbreak feels like. I got here and did I not get tripled? And I'm looking back now and I'm like, girl, but there was a red flag. Why did you not see it?
Right,
There was a
right.
red flag. I kept on picking them up and I thought it was a carnival. Listen, it was a
Ouch.
carnival. It was that bad. I remember I even started, I call myself a late bloomer because I started like around September first year. I spent like 7 months in varsity with no one. I kept on dipping, and just ditching guys until this one guy actually tried and convinced me. The approach was so smooth. That gent was so persuasive. I remember we met at this other race party, and his phone was off, and he's like, "Can you please take my numbers and text me?" I was like, "Ain't no way I'm gonna text a gent." So I missed it. I got a follow on Instagram. I think he DM'd me on Instagram. I still missed until I bumped into him at the dining hall. And this gent literally pulled me aside and was like, please give me your numbers. you know, I want to talk to you. And then I gave him my numbers. I was like, okay, that was kind of convincing. This guy is really into me. But it was sabotage. Like I feel like when a guy is too, it's a red flag. Because the way I was really, really convinced that he was the one. I was like, yo, why so many times? Can't you just give up? That means you're that serious.
Right, right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, we started dating, and then I feel like the whole thing got messed up when he left home because we started dating September and then he went home December. So December, it's when the whole communication thing started going north. I don't know what was going on, but it was just a lot. And there was a friend I met, and I asked him about him. And he's like, "Oh, that guy's bad news. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's no ways. He's not good for you. You're too good for that." And it was hard having to leave him because you've caught feelings, and there's a lot
Yeah.
involved.
There's
And
memories, there's souvenirs and yeah, all that
exactly.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll just leave him and drop him. And then the next year, okay, I blocked him. I deleted his numbers and blocked him. The next year, I bumped into him. He's like, are we fighting? I was like, but then your communication was so bad. You weren't giving me any attention. So I also found out certain things about you. They told me this and this about you. And this gent literally laughed at me. I was like, who's feeding you all of these lies? And they were not lies. They
Of course
were
not.
not
Yeah.
lies, but he convinced me that they were not, you know.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was really bad. It was bad for my mental health. And I was like, I'm gonna leave him. But at some point he came back and he apologized. He was like, no, I know I was like very horrible to you and you're a good person. I'm sorry, but we did not get back together. But it was just that
Yeah.
I just kept him around because we're doing the same degree and I'm gonna benefit from it because he was like a higher year than me. He was doing third year and I was doing first year at that time.
Yeah.
So I'm getting all the resources from him. He's helping me with school. was like, no, I'm gonna keep you for my own benefit now.
It's
We're
so
gonna be friends.
it's so funny that you said you were in first year while he was in third year, because I remember
Yeah.
when I got to varsity, my friend's dad said to me, literally, he said, beware of third years, just like that. He's like, don't, like, beware of third years. And I was like, okay. So in my mind, I was like, I'll never date a guy who's on, the third year or
Third
three
year.
years ahead of me,
Yeah.
something like that. And I never really did, but that did not save me from
Yeah.
heartbreak. Um,
Exactly. It's all about luck. There are people who meet third years and fourth years and they push it till the very end. It's just dumb luck. Love is dumb luck. That's all I could say.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
So you experienced your first heartbreak first year of university, real heartbreak.
Yeah, first year. It
Yeah.
was my second year.
How did you bounce back from that?
Yo. It was like the thing is, when someone keeps on doing bad things to you, the heart chips away. I was slowly moving on while I was still in the relationship and he wasn't aware. So when I finally decided to call off things, I knew that it was over, and mentally I was like, nah, I'm done. I got so hurt during the process to a point where it didn't hurt that much when I left him permanently.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And what would you say to girls in particular who are still holding on, you know, holding on to the
No,
promise that he's gonna change, or,
he's
he's not
never
what
gonna change.
people he's not
He's
what people
never.
say
They should,
he is.
like, my advice would be just listen to Steve Harvey. I know he's a bit extra sometimes, because he'd be like, if a man doesn't want to, he will. If he wants to, he will. But at some point, you have to teach someone your love language and you have to understand each other, right? But then he will tell you that you should never let a man show you twice that he doesn't want you, and he's never ever going to change. I
Right.
feel like a lot of Steve Harvey's quotes and whatever he says about relationships spelled me. So I'd say that before you even start dating, start have a guy friend on the side that you're going to talk to, that if a guy does this, what does it mean? Because they understand themselves better. Like, yes,
Yeah.
they're different, but their behavior is more or less the same. It's
Right.
just a person who chooses not to be, um, a horrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say just get a guy friend who's going to advise you. Also, if possible, if you do have siblings who do not mind you talking to them about dating, because I did not have that. you know yeah, do that, especially a Jen. She's going to tell you all of their tricks.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning. And no, but actually I remember doing that, but I just hated the truth, because they'll tell you the truth to your face. No, he doesn't like you like that. But you're like, but he bought me roses. Yeah, but he's doing all
Exactly.
the other things on the side. So
Exactly. You're giving the baby.
yeah,
They're giving you the baby minimum and you're happy over that.
right. Um,
Yeah.
are you an avid reader?
A what?
An avid reader? Do you like to read books and stuff like that?
No, 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 no. I hate reading actually. I do not like books ever. Even in my room, there's literally no book ever. Even when I have to read my notes, I will just scan through my emails. This is what I do. I scan. I don't read. Which I partially feel like I'm in the right field, because engineers do not write that much or read that much. I
You
don't
just
think I
solve
would have
problems.
survived
Yeah.
it. Exactly. You're more of a problem solver.
Yeah.
So
And so how do you get information? Because some of us get information through podcasts, through books, and stuff like that.
TikTok.
No, no. Not this girl. Don't scare me
I
like
would,
that.
I would, I would rather listen to a person speaking rather than me having to read. Yeah,
Okay.
if I could say that. So I do watch the news, which I do not really like that much. But because at home they watch the news and they're like, it's time for the news, you're gonna sit down and also listen. But I get most of my information from the internet, YouTube. I'd rather listen rather than me having to read a whole article or a book. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. I did take you for a reader though. I don't know why.
I don't know. Maybe I do look like a reader. There are people who
Yeah.
think I.
You give me those. You give me those nerd vibes. Like Bookworm vibes.
Really,
Yeah.
really. I am so not a bookworm. Even I had a problem with my eyes and had to get spectacles. I am not wearing them because I'm afraid that I'm going to look like a nerd. So I decide to struggle and squint my eyes. And, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the struggle. Because I
And
don't want to look like a
well, you look good just the way you are. I would love you either way.
nerd. Thank you.
Um, do you have you ever experienced any discrimination of some sort where you are? Racism, colorism, sexism, all of that whole shebang.
Not where I am, but back in the past, I have.
Tell me about
I
that.
feel like university has a lot of matured people and we know better. But back in primary school, just growing up as a child, I feel like I experienced a lot of colorism. Well, it's very strange. Like I feel like growing up dark skinned is just a lot of work in essay. It's painful.
I love the work.
It's painful. Yeah, it's painful growing up being dark skinned. Also having to grow up in an environment where my family, my mom and my siblings, they light skinned, and I was the only dark skinned one, you know. And it did not make sense to me. I would normally ask my mother, why am I dark? And you guys are light. It never made sense to me. But as I grew up, I realized that no, I take after my dad. It's just that I was unlucky because I did not inherit those light-skinned genes. But I did not really experience colorism from them, but it was from my peers. Having to grow up in primary school, they'd call you names, bad names like Nyamani or stuff like that, and that also affects your self-esteem. You know, you basically start thinking that you're ugly or there's something wrong with you, and I really don't know. Like I had an idea of actually trying to fix that, but I'm still working on it. I'm going to brainstorm and come up with some ideas so that I actually get to teach this thing, especially to the primary school kids, because I feel like it affected my self-esteem to a point where, as I've said, I was like locked in a shell and I was afraid of coming out because, what are people going to think? Also, I was very, okay, about high school, I was very selective with who I let into my life. I wouldn't just be friends with anyone. I'd observe you and see the type of person that you are and how you are to me. And then that is the only time I'm going to befriend you and, get you into my side or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that is it. I feel like I missed a lot of opportunities because I was not confident enough, or I felt like I'm gonna stand in the stage and they're gonna be like, she's dark skinned or she's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And how
yeah.
did you outgrow that? Oh, is it a work in progress?
You do outgrow it. I mean, like black is in fashion all of a sudden. They're like, hey, dark beauty, and the people are now calling you dark beauty, and it's so difficult. Also, you grow up and you meet people and they keep on telling you how beautiful you are. And I'm like always so surprised. I'm like, really? Like even my friends, they can tell you I react very awkwardly towards their compliments because I find it hard to believe because all of my life I've known that I'm ugly.
Yeah.
It's just as that. And then people start complimenting you, oh my God, you have a nice skin tone, nice eyes. And I'm like, first time hearing this. It's my first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important to know, hang on. Do you think it's important to know that you are beautiful in the normal sense for you to get through life?
Yeah. I believe that if you know that you're beautiful, like you are the most confident person in the room. I don't know about beautiful people if they feel that way, but I feel like also being light skinned for some reason, being light skinned is an advantage. You just automatically look pretty. I don't know how, but that has been the whole idea around it, that when you're light skinned, you're the most beautiful person ever, and you get the confidence. I remember even back in high school, there was a friend that I had, and when we walked back home all the damn time, it would always be gents who go to her, and you start realizing like, okay, maybe I am ugly because they always go to the light skinned one rather than me. You see, so I started believing that when you're light skinned, everything for you is easy. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you're like for everybody. Yeah, it's easy for you to get things and people.
Right. I'm just, yeah, because I'm just thinking out loud now. Like, say say somebody embraced that they were ugly, because I know some guys do that. Some guys, they're like, yeah, sure, I'm ugly, but I have all these other things going for me, so I wonder if somebody can still believe and know that they're ugly and still thrive. Yeah, just picking your brain on that.
I am like that. I have this mentality that I know I'm not the most beautiful person in the world. There are people who are prettier than me, but one thing about me is that my personality is unmatched. What I am and how I am, and my heart and everything that I do is very different from how other people do it. You just get to embrace the type of person and the influence that you have on people and the impacts that you have on them. I've realized how influential I am in a good way towards my friends and the people around my circle. I've seen it through their ways, verbally maybe, or through genuine love, that these people really really do care about me, and they do show that they value me. So I just really embrace my personality because it's very different. I feel like it's very different. You barely find people like me. Like sometimes I even wish that I could meet myself from a different person, like meet the very same person and experience my own energy. That's how jealous I am, because these people be getting all these benefits from me, yet I'm not getting anything. Like,
yeah,
it's unfair. It'd be nice if I'd have someone who's like me and get to experience my own energy.
right. I said something to a friend recently. I said, all this time I oh, what did I say? I said, I just realized I'm not as pretty as I thought I was. And my friend was like, what? Where did that come from? And I was just like, no, I'm just being honest. Like, I've seen, especially on social media, you see like
Yeah.
really beautiful, flawless people, flawless in the physical sense. And I was just like, I just realized that I'm not as beautiful as I was. But all these years, I didn't really care about it, because for me, the most important thing was making sure that the people around me are taken care of. Yeah. So it's interesting to hear that you have a similar thought about that.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of dating, like in heterosexual relationships, I I mean, have you ever seen the cutest guy with the ugliest girl? Like, it's like, so this else, there's
It
something else
happens.
that matters in this
Yeah.
relationship other than looks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And it always happens, be like that. Majority of the time, it's rare to find an extremely hot guy with an extremely hot girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like the child doesn't really come out as pretty as the parents. I don't know. It's never nice. It's never cute. I don't know why. The baby just mixes the bad combinations. I don't know. Maybe the nose of the mother is like, I don't know, but the baby doesn't come out very nice.
Yeah. But the one thing that does happen, whether the baby is ugly or pretty, the parents adore that baby. They love that
That,
baby like they are the only baby in the world. So maybe
yeah.
love does supersede looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What topics are dear to your heart? You see, I told you. I just ran out of questions.
Okay. It's this thing, there's a project that we're working on. So a friend of mine initiated it, but then I had a similar idea. I was planning on starting a YouTube channel where I get to discuss, or rather help the matriculants to pick the right courses, just expose, give them a full brief of how varsity is like. I know that there are YouTube channels that do that. But what I feel like is unique about mine is the fact that I get to do some research on different universities and find courses that are like, I wouldn't say that the courses that are less important, but we're trying to get the students to do courses that are like more employment guaranteed, and they're not sort of like redundant. Yeah, so that is the plan, to go through each and every university, whether it's UCT, UJ, and find specific courses that students can actually do and apply for, and how you can also be able to do other courses while you're in there after you finish that certain course. Because at WITS there's like a 3-year degree called physics, no, Bachelor of Chemistry, if I'm not mistaken. Is it chemistry? But I think it's something in science. So you get to do it for 3 years, and you can literally jump into medicine from third year.
Mhm.
It's called GEMP. So
Mhm.
something like that. Just I feel like people are less informed on such topics.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm trying to do. Also, just share my varsity experiences I've did. I'll probably even go into depth about what happened into my relationships, the do's and don'ts. You know, yeah,
Yeah. No,
that is just
I think do
what
it,
I
but
do.
don't only limit it to, your online content. You can
Yeah,
always go back to the Lisedi and share with the students there, you know.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay, do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we have a page on Facebook and Instagram. We've started this thing already. It's like a work in progress.
Right.
So you're trying to do that. You're gonna go to high school. That is the plan. I was planning on doing it virtually. Yeah. So what we're doing right now, I'm part of it, but we haven't started with the walk-ins in high school because we also still like hung up on school. We just started the academic year, so we're still trying to get a hang of our schedule, and then we're going to start doing that. But it's a work in progress. It's a
Yeah.
similar thing, but I was just planning to do it virtually.
Yeah. And what outcome are you hoping to achieve?
Students choosing better courses that they actually like, because you like myself, I chose a course that I didn't really like. We're going to go into full details into explaining that civil is not only about bridges. There's also transportation, there's water, there's environmental, there's everything, just breaking everything down so that they know that this course, this is what it is, and this is where it's going to get me. I did not know about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the one thing that I would like for you to add on that is, what I told you earlier, that if for some reason some students are pressured into majoring in one course, but that is not something that they're passionate about, then they can do that. Then later on, they change course if they feel if that's necessary.
Yeah.
Go into employment, save up money, and pay for your own fees if you have to do something that you will enjoy for the rest of your life.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.